Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. You have now entered the RDU Live Radio Show right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY, and I'm your host, Cam McCarty. I appreciate you for tuning in. If you're listening out there on the roadways, out there on Glenwood, 540, 440, make sure you're buckling up. It is rush hour traffic right now. It is bumper to bumper. I've seen a couple of accidents on the way to the station today. So I want to make sure you're staying safe. Reach over, turn us up, but make sure you're buckling up. And if you're watching out there on one of the streams, YouTube, Live 365, Facebook, wherever you might be, I appreciate you as well. Go ahead, put something in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're listening. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. They say it helps the algorithm or something like that. And no matter where you're at around the triangle or around the world, this is a call-in show. And that means when we're not playing music, the phone lines are wide open. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Look, we got a jam-packed show for you today. We actually got some folks sitting in the studio with us today. We got a featured guest, Mr. Richie Nelson. How you doing?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing all right. Like you said, that traffic was it was trafficking out there. Yeah, I tell you,
it's doing its thing right now. It's doing its thing. It's Raleigh at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say. If anybody that's from out of town, like, look, as long as you don't do nothing between 3 and about 7:30. You can live in the city all right, I tell you.
That makes sense, man. So, hey, I appreciate you for coming in and sitting in with us and having this conversation today.
Yeah, no, bro, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be on the other side of the interviews for a change.
I hear that. Hey, I definitely hear that one. Look, we're going to jump into everything you got going on in just a second. So if you've been listening to the show, you already know at the top of the show, we like to start off with something that's real, that's relevant to the triangle or the world at large. And today I just got a couple updates, couple things that's going on. So one, you know I got to start the show off. It's Tuesday, so you know the open mic jam session. CJ Baker and the crew, they are over at Rhythm and Brews downtown Durham, right outside of downtown Durham on Fayetteville Street. You know, it's every Tuesday. It's bring your rhymes, bring your raps, bring your music. And if you're an instrumentalist, you got an instrument to play, it's a jam session. So they have a featured artist that starts at 9 o'clock. I want to say tonight is Michael Georges Jr. He's a musician in the area. So they go from about 9 to 9:45. And then after that, it's a jam session and an open mic night. So I always have to shout out CJ Baker and the crew. And real quick on this one, we're gonna keep this one light and quick. So two other points for the RDU Live Show is next week on Tuesday, we will have our RDU Live playlist show. So every month, at least once a month, we open it up to 10 artists, 10 slots. Send your music in and we'll spin it on the radio. So next week will be hosted by Tyra Lynn. You know, she's the host of the Tyra Lynn Tunes In series here. And she'll be the host of the RDU Live playlist show next week. So we got a few more slots left. If you're an artist out there, you're a producer, you're a manager, wherever you sit at in that space, if you got some tracks that you would like to get played on the radio, make sure you reach out to us. You can hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, or you can just submit your music to the RDU Live Show at gmail.com. And we'll get back to you and we'll try to get you in the playlist. It's that simple. It's that simple. But you got to do the work. You got to reach out to us. You got to send your music in. It's got to be a clean edit. That's the thing. We are on the FM dial. This is a FCC regulated radio station, right? So it's got to be a clean edit. All right. So that's that. And then the last piece of information is on November 30th, the RDU Live Show, RDU Live brand. We are partnering up with the Black Portrait Collective. They're a local collective. They have a couple or a lot of musicians, you know, in their camp. We're partnering up with them. We're doing a show on November 30th at the Portal in Raleigh, right there on Hillsborough Street. It's called the Alternate Road Show. So we have 4 artists. It's an alternative kind of punk type, you know, vibe to it. And it has a theme. So there's a murder mystery theme to it. So one of the artists is the chosen criminal at large. And so by the end of the show, we're going to reveal who that is. But during that time, so from now until the end of the show, you have the option as the listener, as the fan, to vote and to try to figure out who that person is, who that chosen artist is. So we're putting some things out on our Instagram as hints, but you got to come to the show. You got to come to the show to know who the actual criminal was. Right. And so there's going to be some other clues, during the show and all that kind of stuff. So November 30th at the Portal, we're having the Alternate Road Show, RDU Live, in conjunction with Black Portrait. We have 4 artists. The 4 artists on the bill, are Vanny Preem, Internet, Saturday, and O'Kaden. Those are the 4 artists, and they are also the 4 suspects in this whodunit mystery that we're putting on. All right. So if you ain't got nothing to do November 30th, come on out to the Portal, see a good show, and be a part of the fun. All right. Enough of that. We got people sitting in the studio with us once again. Richie Nelson, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm chilling, man. I'm listening to that. I'm like, cause got the homie Wednesday in here with me, so it was like y'all got Saturday on the bill. About looked over there, I was like, you got a.
We got the Saturday, Wednesday. Okay. How you doing, Wednesday? I haven't introduced you yet. We got Wednesday sitting in here with us.
How are you?
Doing good. Once again, I appreciate y'all for coming in. So Richie, so to give the people a little bit of backstory, I've been seeing what you've been doing, on social media, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. So Richie's got a couple podcasts out there, some video elements. And I always have to mention this when we're talking about this platform and this show. So every Friday night, right? Right?
See, I thought you was getting ready to make another announcement. I was like, I got a song just like that, but what do you want?
No. Every Friday night. What I want people to understand is how this thing works. So you submitted a track to the playlist show that I was talking about earlier. Right? And so it creates this community and these connections. So if you're out there, you're an artist listening, yes, getting your track on the radio, that's a huge thing. Then also
again, I was like, just forward the emails.
Exactly. But it creates connections.
Right.
It creates connections. It creates conversations. Right. And so it goes from, last month, the track being played on the radio to now we're sitting across from each other having a conversation. So I said I kind of gave a brief intro of you. So what all you got going on, man? Who's Richie Nelson for the people?
Richie Nelson he's just a guy that just really like entertaining the people. Whether it be like I might get on your nerves with a couple jokes, might spit a couple bars, might even sing a little bit. I never really tell people I sing. I say I hold a note. That way, if you don't like it, I never told you I sung.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I kind of describe like my voice as like the kickback that could turn into the party. But you know what I'm saying? But if it just stays a kickback, it just stays a kickback. But other than that, like, I'm just somebody that's just interested in all the lanes and mediums. So it's just trying to see where else I can go. That's who Richie Nelson is. He's an explorer, I guess.
Got you. So I've seen you out there on YouTube. Well, talk to me about the YouTube just a little bit.
Yeah, RichTube TV. It started out as just reactions. I'd always wanted to do like just reactions to certain like things that are like coming out and kind of just staying like current with like what's going on like socially, and then it just turned into like other shows. Then before then I was still am working with big Four Phones Entertainment. Big shouts to them. We had a show called Shot Topics where we would just kind of like I always described it as like hot ones, but like when just with libation, basically, trying to use the good word.
Yeah. We understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So with that just kind of made me more comfortable with being on live and being in front of a camera to the point where I could kind of, pivot that show to somebody I trusted. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts to Wednesday, the new host of Shot Topics, and pretty much just kind of how LeBron took his talents to Miami. I kept my talents there, but also took my talents to my own channel. So big shouts to RichTube TV. If y'all listening right now, y'all looking at right now, make sure y'all like and subscribe.
RichTube TV.
We just made the first tier partner a couple months back, and kind of
shout out.
Everybody that works there works really, really hard. Like, it might be like middle of the week when like, hey man, we gotta get some content in. They pulling right up. So big shouts to Cousin Luther, big shouts to Assassin, big shouts to Clyde, big shouts to Dez Man X, and again big shouts to Wednesday. Like everybody that's been a part of the channel, really appreciate y'all.
Word, word. I got a couple questions in line with, how you kind of build a team and how you work with that. But before I get into that, we just talked about Wednesday a little bit. I want you to talk about yourself. So Wednesday, you came in. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm chilling.
So you're a host of Shot Topics now. What's going on with that?
That was pretty cool. I was in the background, and he was just like, "Yo, you're funny. Come on, like this. You can't be in the back. Like you be having the vibe. You be having energy. Come to the front.
There you go.
And then I stayed in the front, and he was like, "Now you're teaching," and I'm like, "Yo,
whoa,
I'm down."
So how long you been the host of Shot Topics?
Shot Topics, what? A few months now.
Yeah, I think we made the official switch over like sometime in the summer, and I kind of did like a slow build up. I had a point where I kind of got the idea from 106 and Park where they were like in between hosts at one time. Where, like they just had like interim hosts come in and do things. So we had Ari Quinn host an episode. We actually had Tyra Lynn host an episode. That was probably one of the favorite like interim host episodes that we got. And then it just transitioned into her. Like we actually just wrapped up recording an episode yesterday. Big shouts to Millie.com. That was
Millie.com. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a vibe.
Yeah, we were just we just did the Slime Awards. Big shout out to Rasta Slimy.
Oh, yeah.
And we were, the RDU Live platform, we were nominated for Rookie of the Year, and Millie.com was in that class. Yeah. I think she actually won that.
Yeah, she did. She got Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year. Yeah, shout out.
She outside.
Big shout outs. So I got a question, kind of for both of y'all. So what's the intervals, and not necessarily for what you're trying to put out or for what you are putting out, but just from how you come at this whole content creation thing? Could you kind of mention, we need to get some content out there. How do you come at it? Do y'all shoot like weekly or monthly? How do you kind of formulate that idea?
We kind of go with the vibe. We at least make sure that we get one piece of content out like a week.
Oh wow!
So as far as and that's just the good thing about having a big group and and everybody being able to like stand on their own is that we could have the whole group there, or it could just be pieces of us there. That it doesn't have to be everybody. What I'm saying, and it's always gonna work. That's just, and our main rule is that if we wouldn't watch it ourselves, we're probably not gonna do it because it's like we can't. We can't push a product that we wouldn't partake in.
Right.
That's pretty much our things. But yeah, it's just all about staying consistent at least once a week.
Once a week. That's actually, depending on how you hear it, if somebody can go, just once a week. But once a week that's consistency. That's consistency. And so you mentioned the thing about the group that you have. How do you go about finding people, creating community, creating groups, keeping those groups? How do you go about doing that? Because that's a big thing, in our world.
It's all about hunger and consistency. Once you get that, like once I see that you want to work and you ready to be here, then it usually just falls into place. Everybody's, as far as chemistry go, that's what make this group so cool is that once everybody sees that you're really trying to do something, like it's just the vibe just vibes itself. So it's like we don't have to kind of force things here or do things, and it's just that everybody has like their own kind of personality, their own type of view. A lot of times we'll bring somebody on and like see their idea, now they have their own show, like type of thing.
Yeah.
As long as you're ready to work, there will be work for you to do. That's kind of how we see it here.
Wow. And question for both of you guys then, kind of going backwards just a little bit. What got you started in this?
Well, during the dark times, the 2020,
the dark ages.
During the dark ages.
Not the bed.
Yeah. DJ R&B, big shouts to him.
Big shout out to DJ R&B. I haven't actually had a conversation with him in person, but I see him online all the time. We converse back and forth, man. Big shout outs.
That's where he's one of the that's probably one of the hardest working DJs I've seen, and he was the creator of Shot Topics. So when I first came into contact with Shot Topics, I was just a guest, and like that's when he was having guests come in, one by one, just kind of keep everybody isolated and like, recording the episodes. And then that's when we were at like an album release, and I was just like, let's just go for it. I'm like, hey, how about I host it? Because I know the world finna open back up. You finna be, busy throughout the week. This is a good show. We should keep it going. Let me help keep it going by hosting. And then I was honestly thinking I was biting way more than I could chew, because I had never really hosted anything other than that before. Like, we would have like shows, big shouts to the Energy guys. That's what Icy the Boss and Cousin Luke. We would have shows out at the 50. Is it the 501 or the 504 in Chapel Hill?
It might be the 501.
I think. Well, that spot. Big shouts to that spot. Once I'm gonna get the name right in a second. But yeah, we would host live events. So it's like I had that under my belt. But as far as like just sitting down and talking with people, that never really done that before. So started watching a lot of the 85 South show, just kind of just getting inspired, kind of just, just like you said, doing the work, just seeing like what it would take to kind of keep an audience engaged as well as my guests engaged. And I would say the rest is history, but it's just been so many little changes here and there throughout the times. Like, and again, I always go like, if I can't go back and watch it and be entertained like it's not me, then something needs to be adjusted. And I just stuck with that philosophy and just been going with it.
Wow. You brought up a lot of points right there, man. I've been sitting on this side of the table for about a year, doing some other stuff for a little bit longer. But that idea of, if I don't watch it, then if I don't want to watch it, then something needs to be adjusted, right? That's a huge concept that, a lot of people don't understand, but you got to like your own product at some point, right? You got to like your own product, and then also be willing to adjust and adapt. Be willing to adjust and adapt to the moment and to what's going on. Once again, shout out to DJ R&B. Shout out to him. I've had conversations and worked with DJ Kid from the Hill out of that camp before as well. Yeah, so just a lot of good people over there. A lot of good people with what you guys are doing. So I'm really excited to have you guys in here and have this conversation. So Wednesday, what got you started? I know you were in the backs, in the backgrounds. What got you kind of even there?
I want to say I was on YouTube for a little bit, a little before the pandemic, but I like to speak to people. I like to learn. I like to spread messages, even if it's not going to hit me. The message is going to hit people. There's a lot of us on this planet.
Yeah.
And I'm big on, I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx.
Okay.
So when I came here, I'm like, there's so many people here. There's no way you guys are not all connected.
How long did it? Like you were itching to say that one, weren't you?
I was.
You gotta let the people know.
I gotta tell them. I'm from the Bronx. It had to come out. But
Voice in the back of your head. You didn't tell me.
I had to.
You've been on here for 20 minutes. You ain't saying that.
It's a different community here. It's a lot of people, a lot of different talents coming from different places.
Yeah.
We're in a small area. I feel like this is a small area because everybody knows.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's so many people that have different things that they can offer, and I'm just like, I'm not scared to do the whole, I'm going to play the politics or, I do this with this person because I'm me. Yeah. People gravitate towards me regardless.
Yeah.
So just knowing that people want to spread their message, and I know musicians, I know people that are engineers, I know like just different things. I'm just like, why not just make sure I'm the network of it? But I have to get on camera to do that as well. So that's where he comes into play, where he's just like, I understand you want to be in the back and we can hear you, but they need to see and hear what comes with that.
Yeah,
you gotta
and know who
it.
you are. Yeah.
And then when people see me outside of the podcast, they're like, yo, you really be connected people. I'm like, I feel that's what I'm here to do. That's my calling. So I allowed him to just guide me into that and not be as scared because I was at first. I'll say that, which is why I even stopped getting on camera and talking to people. And he was like, hey, stop playing. All right, I'm gonna stop playing.
But you was back there anyway.
He was like, you might as well, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine, yeah, that makes sense.
Now there is one part about what you said that I disagree with. I don't think it's a small world. I think the world is still vast. We've just gotten really big in this vast world to the point where we can connect people. Because just like you said, like there are people that don't know each other and needs to make that connection. Yeah, that's where our selves come in, you know what I'm saying, and our grand selves to come in to make that connection.
That's a huge point. I was talking to somebody else about that exact same thing. Yes, it's a small world, like you said. It's still a vast world. Like the world is billions of people, whatever that number is, wide. Even in this area, I forget what the number is. It's a couple million people in the RTP area, kind of thing, right? But like that's a great point. You make yourself bigger that way. You're touching more people without even realizing it, and more people know who you are, and you know who more people are. So your world becomes smaller. It's like you're a small fish in a big pond, or a big fish in a small pond, and like the bigger you get, the smaller the pond gets. Right? Or the smaller it feels, right?
The world ain't small, it just feels small.
Yeah.
And that's, that's natural when it comes to growth. So it's like,
yeah.
So I am growing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're growing, You start off that big and you become a big shark, the pond stays the same, but you're filling up the whole pond.
Dope.
Right?
Perspective.
So a question that I wanted to ask you, we're about to, play some music here. This is kind of what we do. So we got it labeled here as EFN. Every Friday night. Can you give us a little backstory on this right quick?
Every Friday night it was gonna be on a group project that Deuce Tyrell and that's who's on the hook and who produced it. And he had let the song go and I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, well, hold on, let me get it. Let me see what I can do with it. And that's where I'd put that verse on there, and then like we started. He was like, "You gonna put a second verse on?" I was like, "I feel like we need a womanly presence, So then I just started looking around for different people. I had like a good amount of people in mind, and then it came down to like 3, and then out of those 3, one was like working on a project, and then I try not to reach out to artists that are like in the middle of like or like finishing up projects because it's just like there's a lot of red tape that they're putting up for themselves. Right. Promo, whether it's the rollout, like anything a good artist is supposed to be doing. I said that twice. Anything a good artist is supposed to be doing when they're wrapping up their project. So I kind of like, so those 2 artists kind of just, I was like, all right, I want y'all to be here, but I really want y'all to be as great as y'all can be doing what y'all doing. So, and then that's where China Vaughn came in on that second verse, and it was just, it all just worked out. Like I love getting features back where I feel like they got me, and I'm just like, oh man, like, do I need to go back and redo mine? Like this is crazy. Yeah. It ended up being a really, really solid record, and I'm really proud of it.
I ain't gonna lie, I done heard it a couple times, and I love the record. Meaning, when I say a couple times, I be playing it in the truck with the windows down. Just saying. So we're gonna let the people hear it once again. You've heard it here before on the station during our playlist show. Now you're gonna hear it again during an actual feature. We got Every Friday Night by Richie Nelson, Deuce Tyrell, and it was China Vaughn. China Vaughn. All right, let's run this track.
You are so fine, you blow my mind with the things you do. You are so fine, you blow my mind with the things you do.
I hope you don't think a nigga miss you.
So fine,
I seen the poster make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it, but they ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu. Cause every Friday night we got high on life, leaving why oh why. See it's right on time. Every Friday night we got high on life, leaving why oh why. See it's right on time.
I ain't saying I'm the catch and I ain't saying I'm the prize, but you lost me when you lost me. Been a whole vibe whole time, but you knew that. You also knew I wasn't with them games. I would laugh how you put them boys through that. Me and you were different. Late night conversations, occasional comfortable silence. Going through writer's block at the time, pull up, get inspired. Buddy be so jealous, I be there, leave his liquor every time. So we taking shots, look. 2 jaded pieces that would fit on occasion. Long enough to understand we in 2 different places. Long enough to comprehend it ain't nothing changing. Long enough to make amends to a toxic arrangement. Where we friends are just infatuated strangers regardless. On your end, I hope everything amazing. We horrible with boundaries and I hate it, so I let that bridge burn. What's the safest way to play it?
I hope you don't think a nigga miss you. I seen the poster make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it, but they ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu. Cause every Friday night we got high on life, leaving why
I'll never go that route again. Change the course, my GPS would glitch like every now and then. Blinded by the time, but never watched it as it passed me. Knew you weren't good for me, but you became my candy. Now I got a cavity, but it's on my heart. I gave you everything, and all I got was all a card. Looking back so many times, I think you gave me whiplash. Brace yourself, I'm out the door, and you gon' watch my thick bleed. I did it for me. You used to be my dog, but baby, now I gotta flee. Hold them buttons up your sleeve. I used to be naive, felt like I was stuck. I swear it must have been the wheel. I came in on a high, you took me lower than the seat that's in the dirt. Though it hurts, I gotta grow. Just to see it, I gotta sow. Try to water me down while you were playing with them hoes. And I ain't even mad. That's the
I
thing
hope
you
you
gotta
don't think
know.
I miss you. I seen the post to make me mad, you got some issues. I never meant to hurt you or to misuse you. Don't doubt it. But now ain't tryna flip it like jujitsu. Cause every Friday night we got high on life, leaving why oh why. See it's right on time. Every Friday night we got high on life, leaving why oh why. See it's right on time. Say you wanna be my babe, but you only hit me on Fridays. If I had things my way, I've been eating your skin like shea butter every Friday night. Every Friday night. Every Friday night. Every Friday
Every Friday night, every Friday night by Richie Nelson, Deuce Tyrell, and China Vaughn. That's one of them things you got to just bump your shoulders, move your shoulders to. I like that.
And I know what the title say, but y'all can play it on Tuesday, as y'all just saw.
you can
all right.
You can play it. You can play it. I was playing it last Saturday, man. It was one of them nice days. The weather was just right. Had the windows, kind of halfway down, and I was just bumping, driving down.
That's the move. That's and then, of course, if you that type of person that's just fresh off of some toxic, then you keep it
It's
on
gonna
repeat.
work.
Oh yeah.
Heal,
Oh yeah.
you get there, yeah.
It fits all the moods. It fits all the moods. Hey, if you just tuning in, if you're listening on the radio dial right now, or you're out there on YouTube and you just kind of getting into this thing midstream, we are here in the studio with Richie Nelson. And Wednesday, our special guest, we're in here. We're playing some music, having a conversation. Look, if you want to have a conversation with us, become a part of this, ask some questions with some local celebrities and whatnot, go ahead, give us a call. That phone line is wide open when we're not playing music. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Look, we're just having a conversation. We've been talking about podcasting and all that. And so they got shows, they got shot topics, and they got Richie. Was it Richie Tube? What say it again for me?
It's Rich Tube TV.
Rich Tube TV. Rich Tube TV. So now we're coming into we just played every Friday night, so we're coming into the musical aspect of this thing. So are you a producer, a rapper, a writer? Where do you fit into this space? Let's talk to the people a little bit.
I don't make the beats, but whatever beats come my way, whatever I feel like can happen, it just goes back to that. Am I gonna listen to it when it's over with? Am I gonna vibe to it like it's not me? And as long as that's the case, then I might jump on a country song one of these days.
Okay.
Have a southern twang about it. Like I'm not sure. It just all depends on what comes. Like sometimes the words just fall out of the air, and that's how I prefer it.
Do you write outside of music? So like, do you have like a journal or something that you write? Or is it like, I heard a nice beat, somebody want me to hop on, let me write something? Or are you just writing all the time? Like, how does that work for you?
There are times where I'll just jot down my thoughts just to, maybe the process. And then there are times where I'm just in the studio and I might hear something that somebody's playing and it's just like, it just comes to me. And there are times where it's like, it feels like I'm forcing it. So what I'll do is force myself to not write anything and kind of to just let that build up until it kind of eases. Like that's one thing I hate doing, like when creating any music. Like if I feel like I'm putting too much energy into pulling something out of thin air, then I'll just stop for a second because
It's got to be more organic.
right, because anything that I write down or anything that just I record, like I feel like I won't have the same feeling about it the next day just because I forced it out. If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. That makes total sense. Like I use the word organic. Use the word organic. It's gotta feel right.
Right.
It's gotta feel right. So okay, question. How do you balance, or tell the people, tell me, how do you balance between podcast and music? What comes first for you?
It just depends on it's just more so about time management to me. Like if I know that something needs to be completed on the media side of things, then I'll prioritize that. But if I know I have like a show, or if somebody that I say, for instance, big shouts to Ty Harris, if I know like he has a set somewhere and like I'm on one of his songs, then like I'll make sure to prioritize that. I wouldn't say like day by day. It's just more so about what's needed at the time, and then just pretty much go with that.
So you're performing, you're podcasting, you're doing music, you're writing, you're recording it, and you're also performing it. Sounds like that's kind of what I heard right there.
Oh yeah. Now in the upstart of this, I feel like I've been doing the channel for a little over a year, so I kind of dialed back the performances. Not completely stopped, but just dialed them back just to make sure that the channel was just under a pretty solid foundation. So now I'm at the point where it's just, I feel like I can balance more because now the channel can kind of just sit by itself without me having to like hold it up.
Ooh.
Per se.
Okay, talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, with when the channel started, it was just just the reactions. But like when I started adding more shows, like we have a show called On the Shelf with Cousin Luther, where like we'll have guests come through and like they'll play like stuff that was scrapped or stuff that's unreleased or stuff that's on the way. That was one of his ideas. That was something that he wanted to do. I was like, okay, we can do that. And then I kind of wanted another like one-on-one thing without having to go to Shot Topics again, because that's the show on the Four Phones channel. So we got something called Solo Cup Sit Downs, where it's like and then it kind of, I know Shot Topics is more so like a quote unquote drinking show, and then there was so many people coming to me and was like, yo, I kind of want to get on the show, but I don't really drink like that. I'm like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. And that's what that show was for. Like we always say at the beginning of that show, anything could be in the cup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whenever we say cup up, like it doesn't matter what's in your cup. You got the cup in your hand. You're sitting down with us. We're gonna chop it up. So it's just with that, like putting all those shows together, and then we would we'll do a live stream where like we'll have like a try not to laugh challenge where we're looking at something funny, or we have like different games that we've been starting to play, like, and all of that is just everything is content like these days. So it's like if you think it's funny, 9 times out of 10 it's about 100 other people that you may not even know.
Right.
Like it's just been so many times like we've all just been sitting chilling and like saying something funny, like whoa, let me go get the camera, y'all. Y'all tripping.
Goes back to that organic thing, like it just kind of happens in the moment. Because I was about to ask, like, how do you? Because you just rattled off a couple different shows, all great ideas and topics and conversations. Like, how do you come up with those topics and those show ideas? But it sounds organic, right?
Right. It's kind of like the lyrics. It just falls right out of the air, and it's just like, yo, that's once I kind of put it together, how to organize it, I'm like, all right, that's it. And then another thing is just, even when I might have like 87% of the plan, I'll jump right into it. That's what I've been having to learn. Like if you over plan, you end up underdoing. So it's just like sometimes like I'll just jump right in something just to see what it's like, and then once I finish it, I'll look it over like, all right, these are the adjustments that need to be made going forward. Like that's where the whole, because I believe around Christmas last year, I was like, I want to stream more. I kind of want to see if I can like stream for like hours and hours on end, because that's what the kids are looking at these days. They're looking at these streamers, and like if we can find a way to get into that market, like that would just be, more content, and then we can always take the stream, chop it up into individual content pieces, and then that's just more views, that's just more attention to the channel. And it's just the first stream, I would call it choppy at best, but I learned like exactly what I needed. Like just needed to update the equipment, update the lighting and all of that. It's just you wouldn't know these things until you actually went and, like you said earlier, did the work.
Yeah,
So it's just,
yeah.
you can plan all day, but it's just until you see how it's gonna come out, you wouldn't know what to adjust to, what to prepare for.
It makes total sense, man. It's a quote, it's less of a quote, but a conversation that I live by. I was watching a show called Shark Tank. Shout out to Shark Tank on ABC. It's a group of investors and they hear things. And Mark Cuban is one of those investors. And it was something really simple that he said on there. This is years ago, maybe 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. He said, perfection is the enemy of production. Perfection is the enemy of production. Yes. And I'm before then, I was a perfectionist. And I still am to some degree, but now I've learned that trying to get perfect, you will never actually get a product, right? And so you have to, you have to plan to some degree and do all of that, but more importantly, you have to start. You have to start and you have to do it, and then you have to figure out how to do whatever you're doing with some level of consistency. So we're all saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're all saying the same thing, and so I totally get what you're saying. You get 87%. I actually like that number. It's like one of those not whole numbers, but it's more than a little. I get it.
Right. Like it's definitely more than I forgot it was on the radio. It's definitely more than half blank. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more than half baked. But it's enough to like, all right, we still got room to learn.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to go into something where they feel like they know everything, because it's like then they can't be told anything.
You can't be told. You can't adjust. Right. Yeah. Not being nimble. That's how you break. I have all these little platitude sayings, I can just rattle off. But I sound so old. Sound like my dad. Shout out to my dad. But yeah. So I totally get it, man. And it's just one of those things of the organic piece of it. The organic piece is one of those things I just kind of want to bring out, because I struggle with that. I can kind of go into a hole and I have to write, if I'm writing music or something, writing a poem, I got to get it right. And you kind of get stale on it. But it goes back to, I'm giving all these things out. It goes back to, who was it? Like Lauryn Hill said, I had to live a little, she had to take some time off from writing music because she had to live. But this goes back to that organic thing. You got to have some life experiences and just do things in the moment and find something funny. And that's how you create a topic. Like, you got to live just a little bit. So I really commend all that. I commend it. And I commend you actually putting that to work, right? It's seeing a joke and then actually going and getting a camera and making a whole show out of it.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's the flip. Like, that's the...
That's a big deal,
And it all goes back to exposure and guidance. So big shouts to R&B for even exposing me to that field and allowing me to do the work. Big shouts to Tyra Lynn, because there's been so many episodes where like we were like recording live, and then like whenever we finished up, it would just be like, all right, so you did good here. So, but you know what I'm saying, moving forward, tighten up right here, let them talk a little bit more, and then It was just, the community was so embracing and so uplifting. Like, I would not be anywhere without all of that. I really appreciate that.
Shout out to the community. Shout out to Tyra Lynn. You gotta give big shout outs to Tyra Lynn. Tyra Lynn, if you're watching, you know what's up. Everybody sitting in here got mad love for you. Appreciate you for everything you're doing, for all the brands and just spreading the good energy. If you know Tyra Lynn, she spreads her.
She's very vibey.
Yeah, very
her
vibey.
Energy is so cool.
Yeah, so shout out to Tyra Lynn. And once again, shout out to the community. So I want to kind of double back on that. So you said you're from the Bronx, right?
Yes, sir.
You're from the Bronx. And so real quick, how long you been down in this area? And then how do you go about finding people like the Richie Nelsons? How do you get hooked up? How do you get connected?
So I've been here for 10 years.
Okay.
I was 20 when I got here. And Richie, I met him at another job that shall not be named. But we met there, and then we had each other on socials, and then I saw what he was doing. And this is before or after COVID, I would say, him doing more of what he was doing, plus his music. And then I just started just messing with just YouTube and like just being funny with it. And then I started noticing, just me being an outgoing person, I started going to the Cypher.
The Cypher. Okay, what's that? The Cypher.
That's
What you talking
like that's the one I went to was at the tunnel, the Freedom.
Yeah, the
Expression
Freedom
Tunnel.
Expression Tunnel, NC State. Shout out Wolfpack, baby.
Yeah. So I like music, and I did like the rap battles, the URL stuff. Like I'm into all of that. So when I came here and they had that here, I was like, yo, what's that? So I started chilling with all of them, and then people just being music. So that's why I met Juice Lord. And I was like, yo, you're fire. Now we years after, and look what he's doing. And we still cool. It's just me just talking to people and just being engaged. Like, yo, your bars was fire. I'm going to tell you if it was fire. I'm going to also tell you if it was a little funny. I'm going to also tell you I wouldn't play that. I'm going to also tell you I might know somebody that could help you. Like, that's just me. Like, I'm not going to lie to you.
I might know somebody that can help you. Kind of crazy.
I'm not even going to help you. Hey, I heard where you was going. And it's not even like I'm trying to play you. It's just like I see where you were trying to go. And I see this is who you asked for assistance. Maybe you should try this.
That's real.
They might be able to. They might have that sound. I'm cool with a lot of people here, so it's not hard for me. I feel like it's not hard to talk to people. It's not hard to just embrace what they already have, what they already giving, and then adding on to that if you have something so that they can be helped. Because I feel like that's my point.
Yeah,
that's just my reason of being.
The
just
connector thing.
Connect and spread. Like that's just how I feel.
Wednesday, the middle of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Connecting both sides of the week.
Hello, we're almost there.
And we almost there. You mean Wednesday, you almost there. You know,
Exactly.
you coming to the other side of this thing.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. He was Richie definitely was like, hey, I see what you do. I see how you be talking and what you can do, how you can ask people stuff. Pull up.
That's
and
dope.
He ain't like let me just learn the back stuff and then get on camera and do what you got to do. And I've been here ever since.
So Rich, are you from this area?
No, I'm from a really, really small town. I'm gonna take one of those reallys off. I'm from a really small town. It's called Yanceyville.
I passed it on the highway.
Yep. Big shout out to Yanceyville. Big shout out to Caswell County. And I moved here in 13.
Okay.
Moved into to Wolf Creek. I don't think they call it that no more.
No, they don't call it that no more.
That's how long I've been out here, and it's just really started from the ground up. Is like musically. Like I used to leave here and go do the Eddie Ruger shows where I think I had met there was an artist that's out here, Samson. Like then he was telling me like, yo, you can just come to the open mics here at Noir on Glenwood. And then I did a couple of those, and then like somebody had saw me for was like a contest for like undeniable talent. They used to do that at what it is the bar that used to be there right there by the train station, like Deep South. Oh, Deep South, yeah. And then from there, had met Freedom Infinite. Then I was then became a part of the Infinite family, and then that's where I got to meet like the community, and that's where like the growth came musically. And then, like I said, when the dark times happened, that's what I call them. When they happened, it gave me the chance to kind of see where else things could go.
Yeah.
And then right around that time, I think Zuck, that's what I call him. Me and him on a first name basis. Zuck,
your boy, your boy Zuck.
Yeah, I think he had just started the Facebook reels.
Yeah, the reels. Yeah.
I was bringing my TikToks over to the reels, and then it was whatever. Like I would maybe get 200-300 views on TikTok. This is 200,000 to 300,000 views on this new Facebook Reels, and then like that just goes back to exposure. Like when you start seeing like the K's in front of stuff, it's just like that's what you want. And then like when those K's turn to M's, and it's just like, all right, to the point where it's like you appreciate everything you get, but it's just, all right, I see where this can go. I see that there is a group out there in the world. I may not know them, but they objectively think I'm entertaining, whether it's funny, whether it's, what I'm saying, with music, vibe, and all of that. So it's just a matter of platform, a matter of reach. And then that's where, that's where the work just started to come in. Like you can build your own platform, or you could kind of, network to build onto other people's platforms. And it's just, I always was taught, like, there isn't enough of something that you want to do, make it yourself. Yeah, make it yourself. I respect that. It's something in there that I have to double back on. I have to. For everybody out there that's been listening to the show for however long we've been doing this, one of the running themes, hey, you out there know kind of, because I say it, but we don't have a lot of conversation
before the show. We don't really do a lot of like pre-work. I just met we all met Wednesday at the same time, right?
Yeah, like,
So one of the running themes of this show has been the importance of community.
yeah.
And the importance, just because this is the RDU Live Show, the importance of going to open mic nights and going to other people's shows. So when you both were talking about, you went to the Cypher, that's like the genesis of a lot of this. You went to somebody's open mic night. I started the show off. I talk about CJ Baker's open mic night. And there's a lot of open mic nights across this scene. Hey, shout out to one of the videos I have out there. If you actually run an open mic night, I want to get in contact with you. We got a lot of ideas. We want to string them together. We want to do
City
some.
Soul. Come on, City Soul.
Yeah, City Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poetic High, Poetic Justice. A lot of those. Yeah. I want to get. We want to do some live streaming and put some stuff together at these open mics. But the concept of it is we have another set of guests right here that are talking about, building community, how they find people. I didn't make you guys say that. I didn't make you guys say it. It's literally just a running theme with people who are actually doing something and progressing. A lot of times they're finding people and networking with people, especially when they're starting off or just in general, going and being and supporting other people. Like you talked about Juice Lord, and like you met him years ago and now look what he's doing. And that's, you never know, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that just comes up on an open mic night for the first time, you never know where they're going to be at in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just that importance of if this is something that you want to do, or you just enjoy the scene and you just want to support, then go support. You know what I'm saying? Go to an open mic night, go to somebody's show. You know what I mean? Just go to somebody's show. They don't have to be, on the Grammys for you to go to their show at the poorhouse, right?
Don't wait for that.
Don't wait for that.
It's too late.
Don't wait for that. It's too late at that point.
Let me translate it for the people with egos out there. So, if you're good at what you do you know how cool you look showing up somewhere and then somebody asks you, like, yo, you performing tonight?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just out here chilling. I'm just out here showing
Exactly.
love. Like, ooh.
Ooh.
Like I used to
He's really doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to compare it to like the JV games back in the day, and like the varsity players would show up and like
Exactly.
in their varsity jersey. So it's like, of course they not playing, but they do this. Like that is the exact. That's how I always looked at it. Like you look so like, especially if you cool with the DJ and they play one of your songs. It's almost like you performed when you didn't have to.
Exactly.
It's the exact same thing. Like I learned that at I think it was like a last Friday mixer that the Carolina Waves used to do, and like I was gonna go anyway just to support, but I think they had I got a song called No Secret. They had played literally about 5 minutes before I got there. So when I pulled up, just came through the showing love, they was already like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, why y'all on me like this? Like didn't even know that that R&B had already spun it. Before I'd even got there. So it was just like you look so grand just being there like that, and that's just for the people with egos of the selfish that hear words like support and community and kind of tune out. Like, look, you look cool when you show up to places that they didn't expect you at. Like I'm just
waiting for you to do your thing. Like that's one of those things where it's like, oh you here? I wonder what you're about to do. Like whatever it is that you're about to do, you're good at it. And I'm excited to see whatever it is that you're about to do. Like, and that's what's cool about the community. Like
this is the job you show up to outside of your work.
Exactly.
And it's cool. Like you don't look like one of them ones. Like no, this is the job to do.
And quiet as it's kept, that's how you build a fan base. If you're an artist out there and you're trying to build a loyal fan base, those are the little things. We talked about, what good artists do. That's what they do. If you want to put it like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, yo, we getting to the bottom of this thing. And I usually reserve like the last 15, and we've been talking over it. I reserve it for you guys to talk about, once again, everywhere people can find you at. So any of your social media handles, your YouTube pages, I want you to say it once again very, very plainly for the people as we come to the bottom of this thing. Everybody who wasn't here at the top of the show.
Follow me, Google me, go outside, pick up that rock. It's right there in your front yard. Turn it over. Rich Nelson 2K. The YouTube channel, RichTube TV. Also, big shouts to R&B again because December 27th, RichTube TV will be hosting his Last Friday event. We got a lot of cool things. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to put together a cosplay contest. It's still in the air because we got like the anime side of our channel. So it's like just be on the lookout for that. But like other than that, definitely come. It's gonna be at the Pinhook 1227. It's gonna be real grand old time, like they used to say on Flintstones.
There you go.
Showing
There you
my
go.
age now.
Hey man, say man, it's your girl Wednesday. You can follow me on Instagram. Some call me Wednesday. Go ahead and follow me. We got some good stuff going on. We got some pop up on you, interview you, talk to you, give you some shots. Come talk to us. We'll come talk to
What
you.
can they watch Shot Topics at? Where they watch that at?
Oh, they can watch that on Four Phones ENT, that YouTube channel. Now we also since we're also tight knit, we do have Shot Topics episodes where it might collab with RichTube TV. That's where we'll shoot out at the office, and we also have another show on Four Phones ENT called That's Law, where we we kind of dress it up as like court theme, where we'll take like different posts, different tweets, and like different discussion topics, and kind of between like relationships with like individuals, and kind of determine like what's law and what's not. It all started with the 50-50 rule, or like, I think I was in the middle of a Shot Topics episode, and it was just like, would you snitch on your homies, or would you cheat on your girl? And then like R&B had called the next day. He was like, yo, I got a show. That I was like, oh, all right. So and then we've been doing that for about a year. So Four Phones, big shouts, Four Phones.
Shout out.
Four Phones ENT. That's their YouTube channel.
So Four Phones ENT, RichTube, YouTube, and we got Wednesday with Shot Topics.
Yeah,
So say your Instagram one more time.
Instagram
for us.
is Some Call Me Wednesday.
Some Call Me Wednesday.
Yeah.
Some Call Me Wednesday on YouTube. I always want to slow it down just to make sure whoever's out there listening gets it full without interruption. You know what I mean? Some Call Me Wednesday. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yo, I thank y'all for coming on today. I thank y'all. We coming to the bottom of this thing. I thank y'all for sitting there and having this conversation with us.
Thanks for having us.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We actually had a couple more music tracks to play, and I was planning on playing them.
Sometimes that conversation, it just be conversation.
It just goes.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate everybody out there that's watching. Anybody that's on the FM dial that's listening live 365, all the listeners out there, we thank you for giving us your Tuesday and joining in on us on this conversation. So once again, coming to the bottom of this thing, November 30th, RDU Live in Black Portrait. We're doing our Alternate Roads show over at the Portal. It's going to be at the Portal in Raleigh. It's a murder mystery thing. So if you're into that kind of thing, come on. You don't have anything else you're doing on November 30th, come on down and see what we got going on. If you're an artist out there, if you're an artist, producer, musician, there's no specific genre that we're catering to. If you're an artist, musician, producer, manager, next week is our RDU Live playlist show. RDU Live playlist show. Okay, we got 10 slots. There's a couple more slots there. I'm going to say it here. It's free of charge. We're not charging you anything for that. We're not charging you anything. We only ask that it's a clean edit, that you get it in before Sunday. All right. We want it in before Sunday at 5 p.m. just so we can have everything lined up and get everything squared away. All right.
It's not even allowed to ask if you're a good artist.
It's
a good artist.
We try to make it easy. We try to make it easy and provide something here. And just help me help you, as they say. Help me help you, as they say. Look, we're about to hop off of here, give you about 2 or 3 minutes back on your Tuesday evening. Look, we appreciate everybody. This has been Cam McCarty with the RDU Live Show right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY. And like I like to say, let's go live.
I like them cute and classy. Whole lot of thighs and nerves. Make you wanna break your neck as soon as you walk past. Extra points if you got an attitude, baby. Extra points if you got an accent, baby. Yeah, I like short hair, but I love it long. Can't even cap. I like them red, I like them brown, I like them chocolate, all that. And all black 230. You like, where you at? I'm outside. Bang, bang, bang. RP Pops, man. Crank up and slide. Hey. Then this one with the glasses, my weakness. 3-5 in that wood, she be trying to cheat. She don't never come to the crib, she be trying to sneak. Boyfriend be heated, she know the reason. Hey.
He want a freak. He want it nasty. He want a classy, bust like a ratchet. When she savage, she splashing. Bad as hell, she ain't average. She start shaking, get it clapping. Give it to him, let him have it. He want a freak. He want it nasty. He want a classy, bust like a ratchet. When she savage, she splashing. Bad as hell, she ain't average. She start shaking, get it clapping. Give it to him, let him have it.
Make a believer out of me, baby. Making it wanna need you, baby. You been working out, I can see it, baby. Come and put it on me, baby. Make it vibrate like a cell phone. Gonna make it shake like Jello. Make it pop with no current. I'm in full salute, you the current. I love it when you look back. Swear it, be so attract. Dimples in your back, what you doing after this? I'm trying to get act.
He want a freak. He want it nasty. He want a classy, bust like a ratchet. When she savage, she splashing. Bad as hell, she ain't average. She start shaking, get it clapping. Give it to him, let him have it. He want a freak. He want it nasty. He want a classy, bust like a ratchet. When she savage, she splashing. Bad as hell, she ain't average. She start shaking, get it clapping. Give it to him, let him have it.